Parents, when did you discover your kid's secret life? Steven had always been a bright, happy kid. He was the kind of boy who'd race home from school, throw his backpack on the floor, and fill the house with his laughter. But that all changed when he turned 16. At first, it was small things. He started coming home late, slipping into his room without saying much. I'd ask him what he'd been doing, and he'd always brush it off, just hanging out with friends, or I needed some air. Then I noticed the signs, the tired eyes, the way he was always on edge, the faint bruises on his hands like he'd been in a fight. The worst part was how he started avoiding me. If I tried to talk to him, he'd give one-word answers and leave before I could ask any more questions. One night, when he came home after midnight, I had enough. "Where were you?" I asked, trying to keep my voice calm. "Just out with some people," he muttered, avoiding my gaze. "Out with people?" I repeated, disbelief creeping into my voice. "Who, Steven? You can't just disappear like that." He didn't answer. He grabbed his hoodie and walked out the door without another word. The silence in the house felt suffocating. My instincts told me something wasn't right, but Steven wasn't talking. Then I started to panic. What if he was involved in something dangerous? Maybe he was dealing substances or worse. I couldn't sleep that night. The more I thought about it, the more the worst-case scenario seemed like a real possibility. The next day, I snapped. "Are you dealing substances, Steven?" I blurted out as soon as he walked in the door. His face went pale, and for a moment, I thought he might say something. But then his expression hardened, and he stepped back. "Why would you think that?" His voice was cold, distant. "You're always gone. You come home with strange bruises, and you're acting like a different person. I'm trying to protect you, Steven." He glared at me, his fists clenching. "You don't know anything. Just stay out of my life." I felt a pang of hurt, but I couldn't back down. "If you're not involved in anything bad, why won't you tell me where you're going? Who you're with? Why are you shutting me out? I'm not doing anything bad, okay?" He shouted. "I just don't need you all over me all the time." His words cut deep. I had never seen him so angry, so distant. I stood there, stunned, as he stormed off to his room. Days passed without a word. I tried to keep my distance, but it was clear he was spiraling. I had to know the truth. One afternoon, Mrs. Patel from the diner showed up at my door, looking kind of tired. She hesitated, then handed me an envelope. "Steven's been helping us out," she said. "His tips have honestly been a lifesaver." I must have looked surprised because she kept talking. "He's picked up a lot of shifts lately. Always stays late to help clean up. Just thought you should know." I just nodded, not really sure what to say. She smiled a little and left. I stood there speechless. Steven was helping them, but why hadn't he told me? That night I followed him. He didn't notice me as he entered the back of the diner, slipping past the kitchen and straight into work. I watched him clean tables, bring food to elderly customers, and comfort the toddlers who came in crying. He looked exhausted but determined. When Steven finally left, I followed him home, keeping my distance. He stopped to help an elderly woman pick up groceries, and I saw him smile. It was genuine, but tired. That night, I sat down in front of him. "I know what you've been doing," I said quietly. "I followed you." He didn't look surprised. He sighed and sat down beside me. "I didn't want you to know," he admitted. "I didn't want you to think I was doing it for attention. You've been helping people," I said, my voice breaking. "But you didn't tell me. Why?" "Because I didn't want you to worry. I just wanted to do something good." And in that moment, I realized how wrong I had been. My son wasn't hiding anything bad. He had been doing something extraordinary without asking for recognition.